If you've ever worked in a bar or a restaurant, you know that some glassware are an absolute nightmare.
Oh, my God.
Here are the top 5 worst bar glasses that restaurants hate dealing with.
Talk to me.
Let's just go right into it.
Yeah.
First one, let me know if you agree or not, martini glasses.
Oh, my God. All the time.
Now, here's the thing. With a martini glass, they are impractical, both to serve. If you have one or many martinis.
And you know, for most spots, actually the good thing about my spot is my glasses hang. So that is one of the few things that you can hang and not have to worry about it because the way it fits.
Okay.
But at other spots, I can see where just even storage might be an issue.
Okay, they're easy to break.
Yeah, oh my God. Like that.
So those are the ones that you might be talking about that you don't have enough of because eventually they break.
Yeah, you'll go through moments where I don't know what to do with them. And then a week later, you go on vacation, you come back to your restaurant, and you're like, I thought we just had, what happened?
Yeah, where are all the martini glasses?
Dropped them all. What happened?
You can't even bring a martini you're bringing them in a wine glass because you don't even have enough martini glasses.
What just happened?
It's so weird that in restaurants, sometimes you're out of soup spoons, you're out of something that's so common you had an abundance of.
Yes.
And all of a sudden.
Everything was all good just a week ago.
And now, next week,
you're like, what?
You're way low.
Did you guys just throw everything away? What just happened?
And being on order, it's like such a reach that you never get. Oh, we ordered them. Where they at? Where they at? Listen, okay, so martini glasses, as a server, whether I'm holding it in my hand or on a tray, they are just not they're steady to, but there's always spillage. My tray is drinking more drinks
for sure
every night from martinis than any other.
Yeah, I'm at the point with them, I don't even mind them being completely full because I know by the time I get to the table, it'll be exactly where it should be at anyway. I have no problem with it.
I don't even know what the bartender's fascination of filling them to the
top.
rim.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you thinking that these people are right in front of you? I still have to carry this thing.
All the way there, yo.
All the way there.
You're not talking about a couple of, we're not moving like how the bartender moves it from here to here.
Right.
Or where they could pour it right in front of them. We're walking through a restaurant.
With people in our way.
We're dodging things. And not just, like you said, if you have a tray full of drinks, they're not all going to be martinis. And martinis take up space because they have the lower base, and then the way you move them up, and then it becomes bigger. So now you're talking about a spot that would take up almost 2 cups worth of stuff.
Yes.
Legit.
And then you can't tuck anything under it because it's sure to spill right into that drink.
Right into it.
So you need it to have its own
universe.
Yes.
And it needs to have room around the world so it can spill.
I know. You bar managers out there are cringing right now because we're basically telling on the bartenders that they're overfilling the martinis. Here's the problem with martini glasses, right? The larger glasses, they're not supposed to be filled to the top.
No.
Even if they're not, they're hard to drink out of.
Yes.
Then you get the smaller ones to stop your staff from overpouring because it's only 3 ounces?
Yes.
Right? It looks ridiculous.
It looks ridiculous.
The smaller martini glasses look ridiculous. I don't want to drink out of them. No. I don't want it in front of me.
And I'd rather have that little bit, like that 1/4 inch of lip with nothing there. I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with it.
Because, when it comes to the table, I mean, even more, I'm not going to complain when I'm at the bar and I take a sip from the thing. But you do that because it's too full. Because in your mind, as a normal person, you can't pick that up with your hand without spilling it on yourself.
Let's tell a story about this girl that we work with. And it was a short amount of time that she was there, probably 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
And whenever there was a drink that was overfilled, she would sip it. Remember the sipper? We used to call it a sipper. And we would look at her, it's like, you can't do that. And she, in her mind, saw nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna tell you another story. I went to this particular bar, Tiki, and I ordered my drink. Jimmy got a beer. Jordan got some fancy drink. So my drink comes, and I see the waitress, the server. The server comes by. She drops my drink, and I hear her smacking her lips before she gets to the table. I look over, and she says to me, "I didn't like that."
Did she at least straw taste you?
No, there's no way she could have.
Oh,
there's no way she could have
terrifying.
straw tasted me
Oh, no,
because she did it on the way to
No. Oh, yeah,
she was
so bueno.
walking
Yeah, so
through
bueno.
the crowd. I go, did you try? This is my drink. It's not your drink. You don't
Yeah,
gotta
you
like
put your
it.
lips on that thing? I mean, I get a straw taste. I straw taste at the bar just to make sure for
That's
consistency.
different. That's sanitary.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're dipping the straw into the drink, into your mouth, into the garbage.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
She comes by, and there's no lip smacking there.
Yes. No, it's, you know.
I didn't like that. And then tell me I didn't like that?
Because it doesn't hit your lips. It goes right to your tongue. Okay?
How long have you been doing this job? How long have you been tasting people's drinks? That might have been Sipper's sister.
Because it's just something.
Man, good help is hard to find. But anyway, yes. So martini glasses, my number. Well, not my number
They
one.
are number one though. Yeah, they're the biggest.
I got.
You got
they're
more?
not up there. That's not my number one worst.
Oh,
that's
okay.
my number 5. Well, these aren't ranked, but
But a martini glass is gonna be in every restaurant. So let's go from there.
yeah, martini glasses. The breakage, horrible.
Horrible.
The spillage to carry,
Mm-hmm.
horrible. To drink out of, horrible. That's why we don't like those. They're
Boom.
wildly impractical. Now,
Number
4, and this could be my number 1,
Okay.
the Pilsner glass.
Oh, the one for beer. Yeah. No,
Yes, it has a narrow base, and the top is wider. They're top heavy.
Yeah.
You can't unless you're carrying them in your fists. That's the only way that you can carry. You're limited to 2.
Absolutely.
You put them on a tray, they are really sensitive to any tipping.
Absolutely.
I don't understand how this is a glass at all because they're like,
I know exactly what you mean.
right?
Yeah.
It's awful. Top heavy designs make it hard to carry. Difficult to carry multiple on a
100%.
tray. And they are fragile.
Oh, yeah.
If they tip over, like you
It's
hear
over.
them all the time. I've been to bars that have Pilsner glasses, and I laugh because all you hear eventually, because when people put them down and they're not paying attention, they tip up, cling, cling,
Yeah. If there's any kind of imbalance, that thing's gone.
all the time.
Gone.
Pilsner glasses, terrible. Now, this one's probably not that obvious, but shot glasses.
Oh, what kind?
All kinds. Okay? And I'll tell you why. There's a kind that has the little flute, the
Yes.
skinny ones. Those are terrible
Those are
because
terrible.
those are hard to store. They
Yeah.
don't
Where
stack.
you gonna put them at?
Right.
Where you gonna put them at?
Where you gonna...
Where you gonna put them at? Yeah, they don't stack. Yeah, where you put them at?
Yeah, so it's hard to store shot glasses
I think the best
efficiently.
thing for a shot glass is like the small rocks.
Yeah, that's what we do down here. Like those in South Florida are what we serve shots in. The small rocks glasses.
That makes perfect sense because you can stack them.
yes.
The breakage is not as much.
They're sturdy glasses.
They're sturdy glasses.
Easy
They're
to wash.
glasses.
They're easy to wash.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about nothing. They have a big enough base to where you're like, okay, you can walk them on a tray, and you can hold as many trays as you want. You can still put 12 or 15 on a tray.
Yeah.
Without being an issue.
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Mwah. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Shot glasses?
No bueno.
No. First of all, they
And they're hard to clean.
right.
There's no, yeah. You need like almost a good one. Like let's say you do a blowjob, which we don't do, but you know what I mean. That's
Yeah.
a shot. And it's layered, and it looks really good in those. They look good in those glasses, especially when you're talking about with the layer. It almost looks like a Pilsner kind of thing.
Yes,
Those new
yes,
ones.
baby Pilsner.
But what do you gotta do? You got to scrub them every time. It's just horrendous.
Yeah, they're taking up space on your bar top where
Yeah.
the spaces they shot glasses problem. And then now here is the X factor with shot glasses. They get stolen.
Oh yeah,
They get taken.
because they're easy. You put them right in your pocket.
They get
You can drink it,
all
put it in
the
your
time.
pocket, yo.
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
Gone.
Problem.
Peace out.
We don't like them.
No,
Let's move on. Next one. Let me know if you agree with me. The copper mug.
I like the copper mug, but
Okay.
they are hard to keep. For the same reason I think people steal them.
All the time. That's the number one problem I have with them.
That's what it is. That is. The
I
problem.
mean,
because they can fit on a tray fine. I have no problem with the tray.
They're stable.
They're stable.
Yeah.
You know,
They look too good.
they do look too good, especially like a new one. A new one's like a shiny fucking penny, but it's not. You know what
It's
I mean?
like, steal me.
Yo, it
steal
does.
me.
It calls to you. Yo, you almost want it to look like shit, like an old school copper thing, like some shit you would see like in the fucking the gold rush. Okay.
Don't serve mules.
Yeah.
Like when you serve a mule, you're getting clipped 10% of the
I
time.
believe it. 100%.
10% of the time. And then eventually, you got to be buying
glasses.
more.
Yeah, you run, and then even if your distributor gives you to them, you don't have enough usually. Like,
You never have enough.
Because they're going to give you like a dozen, okay? And you might sell a dozen mules in one shot.
And it's right, because it's not as contagious as a espresso martini where everybody's going to get one. But you see a copper mug come out, somebody else is going to get it.
Yeah.
At least one other person is going to get it.
Especially if
at
you walk
the
through
table.
Yes. The walkthrough looks, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
And then look at them, you got to, I'll do that.
And the mule, they're expensive.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. Like, man, mule problems. Not worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. No.
And what sucks is you need the cup, or you're not selling the mule.
You're not selling the mule.
So when you're out of it, you're like,
you ain't got no mule.
yeah, you're like,
You have the ingredients.
Yeah.
But one ingredient is the copper mug.
It's a part of it's a big piece of the puzzle. Crazy.
Now, we're going to wrap it up with this last one. It's not a very obvious glassware thing, but we will see how many people agree with me out there on this one. It's the decanter.
Oh, yeah. But that's mostly going to be at high-end spots or, something,
Yes, but they're not.
But they are obnoxiously big.
Yes.
Okay? And even like my spot where I have a spot to hang it, it still takes up real estate.
It takes up real estate.
Regardless of how you look at it.
Now, they're impossible to wash.
Oh, the worst.
You have to wash them immediately. And here's the thing that I don't really, you also have to find a way to dry them immediately.
You can wash them. Like you said, you can soak them the right way.
You can rinse them.
You can clean them. You can clean them and soak them almost like a bong. Okay,
I don't have that experience, so please enlighten me.
Where you throw in like some salt.
Okay.
And you clean and you shake it around.
I'm with you.
And you get it all nice and beautiful.
Keep going.
And then you pour it out. But now the issue is the dryage. There is no way to dry this fucking thing.
Okay, there is a way to dry it. But here's the thing I have with people and their nonsense, okay? There is a amount of people, and we have one, it's a stand, and they turn it upside down to dry it. All the upside down is going to do is drain it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all it does.
Take a lesson in how condensation works, and you're going to introduce the condensation, and it's going to rise to the top, to the base of that thing, and then you have that permanent water stain up
every
there.
time.
So stop.
And that's why I talk about the thing with the salt, because that's what gets off the water stain. Because without it, there's a water stain continuously in there. It always has that little white spot. You're like,
so you need to at least store it base side down and let the water evaporate out the neck of it, and you don't have that issue. Yes, what I do is I stuff some paper right in there, all the way through, move it around, dry it, and then fish that paper out. That's the only way. Because then there's nothing to me, serving a nice wine in a not dirty, but you don't want to see the water stains. You don't want to, because it'll collect on that bit. They're a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
just
a pain in the butt.
Take my word for it.
Yeah.
You need them if you're serving an older wine.
Yeah, if you're selling really good wine, yes, we understand. It keeps it sexy, baby.
Yeah,
it does. We get it,
but we don't like them.
But we don't like them. It's not practical for a restaurant.
Not at all. Not at all. I have an honorable mention, and this one's just me. It's personal. People love it, but I hate it. Can you guess what it is?
No, but
the coupe.
What's the coupe?
It's the old school champagne glass. It looks like a martini glass. They serve like fancy cocktails out of it.
Oh, okay.
But then the rim kind of comes
rounded.
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You can't drink out of that.
Yo, they're the hardest thing on the planet to drink out. Because your lip, it's not functional for your lips, honestly.
You know who can drink out of that? You ever see that toy that like bops down?
Yes.
That's how you got to drink from a coupe. You got to bop into it.
Because it's rounded like a planet.
You got to bird bath it.
You round it like a planet, but it has the opening.
Yes.
It's like a pumpkin almost.
Yes.
It's like you're drinking out of a pumpkin.
Right.
That you carved on Halloween.
Right. Talk about awkward and spilling.
It's so bad.
I can't stand a coupe.
It's
and that would
so
be my
bad.
number one. Every time I see, if I have seen a drink on a bar and I've ordered a drink and I stopped them, I said, does it come in that glass? I don't want it.
I mean, I've seen martini, espresso martinis come in that and stuff. I'm like, yo.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I can't drink that.
It makes it easier to walk around with, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
I got to drink it out of a straw. That's horrendous. I don't want to drink a glass like that out of a straw.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
I
agree. I love your honorable mention.
Yes, thank you. If there's a glassware out there that you've been served or you serving in the industry, let me know. We do this for you each and every week. And you can let me know in the comments of the YouTube or email me. I'm themodernwaiter@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram at The Modern Waiter Podcast. I'm Marlon Joseph, The Modern Waiter.
I'm Danny Villain. Subscribe, people.
We will see you next week.
Later.